Alright, good evening everybody. We are on to the 23rd episode of our Librarian playthrough playing as Ivan Vucetich, the detective. I know I talked a lot last time, so I'm not making as much progress on the Forsaken Reach as I was planning, but we are going to fix that today. I'm also just coming straight off the previous video for recording, so I have a fairly clear idea in my head about what we're doing. Right now I want to get the Subtle Fracture available for any upgrade that I'll be doing. I think I will wind up helping out Saliba. And after that, really, it's just a question of getting the expedition taken care of, and throwing more bodies at it. I do also want to use Sylvia or Yzabet to destroy evidence. So this is going to take some effort, but we'll work it all out. Okay. Hushed an elliptical conversation by lamplight with glints of truth like gold and river mud. Who knows? Perhaps one day we may speak less guardedly. So that was a conversation with Rhaenyra. I do need to get the ceremony done. So Saliba. Saliba understands blood. He does not yet understand birth. My father will kneel as a novice and rise as an initiate. I will administer the necessary oaths myself. So I did get lucky. Nope, I didn't get lucky with the fascination. That is about to hit me. I do not have a fleeting reminiscence yet. I could wind up with some dread from my investigation, though, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, expedition continues. So Yzabet would be the one that I send on the evidence destruction mission. And we have another season of ambition, so Rhaenyra can do that without potentially, without taking a location from me. So I think I'm just going to leave things be. Another favor from authority. Last night I dreamt of a blue silk pavilion overlooking the cloudy labyrinth of the Bounds. I listened to the mistress of this place speak of other visitors. The Suppression Bureau come here. Did you know that? I think they hope to recruit me as an ally, she snorts derisively. After what they tried to do to Christopher, but their folly is your fortune. I will tell you something that may help you if the Bureau ever troubles you. Okay. So in this case here, I want to heal my affliction before we go any further. We do still want locations to visit, but I gotta work with what I have available to me. All right, the temptation is past for now. So in this case here, I am willing to let Rhaenyra go and do whatever madness. Call upon the watchman who navigates. The watchman will clear our sight so that we can almost certainly pass without error. I think at this point I'm gonna have to bench Yzabet. So I either need to add Porter to the expedition, or leave the evidence untouched. It's probably safer to add Porter to the expedition. Safe across treacherous ground, where mud spattered and thorns scratched, but we made it through. To she who is flesh, I offer my wounds. To she who is stone, I offer this moment, where my old self divides from my new. To she who comes from light, I offer my secrets. The door is opened. I'm going to take another half hour to talk about it. Sorry about that for those of you who didn't care for it. Saliba's pleasures are taken in a room without windows. His companions return to him again and again, even though each time they are a little less. And no new leads for our investigation. This is like the one time I want to see dread from investigating, and I don't get it. Okay. I suppose I need to make a decision. You know what? I am going to send Yzabet to destroy the evidence. My scheme will most likely succeed. There is always a chance that something will go awry. The sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. And so we head to the White Door. Now I can approach the White Door through the Bounds. Now I can press my fingers to it, feel its chill, watch it swing open. As it opens, my mouth closes, tightens, heals over like a lost deformity. Around and about me is the cobalt light of the Mansis. Now, incidentally, I do have the option of going higher up in the Mansis. But I don't want to take that quite yet. I'm getting enough that I need from the white door, especially given how long it's taken us. Okay, so this is the sort of thing that I don't want to be investigating a location on, so it's good that we pulled away Rhaenyra. I mean, we can't know that that's what it would have been, but this is why we pulled Rhaenyra out with the talk verb, even though I'm feeling the consequences. So again, we possibly lose Porter here. Look closer, closer still, closer. Keep looking, closer. Now close your eyes. And progress, the constant clatter of closing doors, the damp stains on the station walls, the smell of boot polish and unwashed constables. All this narrows to a single crystalline truth. I've made progress and earned myself some overtime pay. And we did also get the night terrors. I wake in the night, my palms, my face are beaded with sweat. So that's going to help with the... yes, that'll help with the fascination, and I'm not going to get hit by the dread. So the wrong kind of attention. The city is rife with journalists and detectives and other meddlers. How long will they leave me in peace? In last night's stream, I was in the Lodge of the Sage Knight behind the white door. It's difficult to remember exactly how I came there, and the mistress of this place, the woman with the dark glasses, was nodding as if I asked her a difficult question. Of course I hadn't. I lost my speech when I passed the white door. How is it that I can speak, she said to me. I didn't come here through the white door. I'm not proud of what I did to come here, so let me tell you about something else. In those options, in those cases, I do have the option to pick up another furtive truth, but I do like trying to pick up what I can. All right, so Yzabet did not succeed, so my minion is returned stumbling, mumbly, clumsily bandaged. They were caught in the coils of their own plan. So let's heal her right away. So all of my moth followers now have wounds. Watcher's victory. Oh god, we lose Porter now. They're more cunning and more numerous than we'd expected. This will end in blood for us. The rival seeks tools and lore for their own ascension. You're kidding me. Is it Porter? Okay, no, it's Sylvia. that was very nerve-wracking for a minute there. Alright. Their wounds are grievous. Heal a fallen follower with talk. Season of Visions coming up next. See, visions abate, shadows are shelter from light. Despair is ballast. Even misery has its uses. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm saying if that means anything. And damning evidence, if this ever reaches trial, I will be in serious danger. Even if this hunter is disposed of, another may find their notes. Oh god. Alright. White door opens. Last night, in the billowing blue of the Lodge of the Sage Knight, I sat on velvet cushions and watched two dead contend with shining swords. They came with the place, said the woman who rules here now, the one who called herself Gallagher. I was not the Sage Knight, if that's what you're wondering. He went higher in the Mansis, long before I came here. My attention has drifted. The swords sparkle like falling water. The dead move like dancers. So this is definitely a time we need to stay away from dreams and use a fleeting reminiscence. The doors of vision swing wide. A little darkness will mellow my light. Even dread has its uses. It's the beginning of an ending. The wound is healed, but this one came very close to death. Silence has touched them like snow. Compassion or convenience. Perhaps now they'll survive, but there are limits to what the human body can sustain. Okay, so we'll use Yzabet in this case. Closer, closer still, closer. Keep looking, closer. Now close your eyes. Watcher's confusion, their bewilderment is our opportunity, will pass in silent secrecy. And the cloud parts, the wolf despair prowls elsewhere, no dread empowers this despair, it's over for now. And Season of Despair coming up, so we can't catch a break mood-wise, but we should be able to handle everything. The air is curdled now, I'm home again in this lumpen flesh. Better, perhaps. So, in this case, I don't need to worry about fascination coming from the white door. Of course, we may have to contend with a Season of Visions coming up shortly after. The wound is healed, but the scar remains. But each scar, as the scholar Shulga once observed, is a lesson. And let's get Leo to... Oh, actually, I should have sent Sylvia to go destroy the evidence. Treasures lie before us, our expedition plans for the next... I keep reading this even though it's the end of the expedition. Now, it'll actually be really interesting if I wind up getting the Elegabline Manacle. I suspect what I'll get here is 2 Refulgen, a Byzantine Tinct, or a Bitter Black Salts. Barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. Okay, the world as it is. Time the sundial shadow passes, I must have funds to live or I will become ill. It does seem that we get glimmering every time there's a furtive truth there, so I should start following up on the furtive truth. I recall my dream. This was the Lodge of Blue Silk, flapping in the winds of the bounds at the Mansus edge, and here was its mistress, who welcomed me as she welcomes all travelers. Company is nice, she confided, but I still miss my Christopher. 10 years. 10 years and not enough. But we could not have been long together, not without touching each other. And you know what occurs when a man long lies with a long woman. Or perhaps you don't. I hope you don't. I won't tell you just in case. I will give you a tiny gift. This is more to keep... This isn't even really about the money anymore. This is more about just keeping the job. But, I mean, what else am I going to do with the work verb now, right? Like, this, it would be nice to get either a ritual or better lore in order to be able to do these commissions. But until I get that, you know, I'll work with what I've been given. Yes, we will go to the white door. And again, I feel a little foolish getting Leo to deal with the notoriety at a time when I should be dealing with damning evidence, but it's not a waste of time like last time, so. Alright, the Watchers were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This was not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. Okay, this is actually kind of funny, so I see 1 Refulgen. I also see the Byzantine Tinct, and I suspect that's Bitter Black Salts as the 3rd, so yeah. Refulgen, Byzantine Tinct. Okay, so my call here is that the next visit will definitely have Refulgen, but it will be interesting if it gets the Elegabline Manacle, or if it moves to... So if it gives me an Elegabline Manacle, that will be telling. If it gives me Kerner and Gut, Great Autumn Oil, Maravine Idol, Noonstone, Piebald Pigment, Stained Gloves, Rose Pearl Dust, Refulgen, well, the other stuff, I can't remember. Yeah, I did say Rose Pearl Dust. But yeah, I think you get the idea, right? Like any of those are going to tell me that the deck is cycled again. Okay, so let's search out a place in the city. We've got old and happy far off things, so I can paint that away. That's not a problem. Actually, I'll tell you what I think is going on here. So I have a suspicion that it may be checking to see whether or not any of these unique texts are like on the desk in terms of the rewards, and it's adjusting the deck that it's drawing accordingly. So if it does that, then I'm never going to wind up getting the texts that I want. And that's going to be the reason why I never see the Allegabline Manacle, because the Allegabline Manacle is a unique item which is not available in the Forsaken Reach. And this would explain to me why it's possible, like, essentially I very rarely have seen texts come from the third locations. And it's easy to see why. Any potential rewards have already been found, and I don't usually do those locations more than once. So this very elaborate, scheme that I've been doing has essentially been a test of this. It's, yeah, wait as well. Actually, Yzabet's the lower risk one, so... Send a devious minion to destroy evidence. My scheme will most likely succeed. There is always a chance that something will go awry. But yeah, so I suspect here that this trip to the Forsaken Reach is not going to be useful in terms of giving me what I want, but that doesn't mean that it's not useful in terms of confirming how I think this thing is working. Okay, so can't remember. There we go. Last night I visited the Lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities. But you've come for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Carisham days. You're welcome to it, only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. What am I doing? I gotta paint. Heart pumps more strongly today. We've got vision coming up, so it may be that there's a problem from the painting. So again, this is definitely a trip to the Forsaken Reach I'm very invested in. We won't pay for paint. I can pay for paints. There's nothing. I mean, I've got enough money now. I might as well throw money at it. I am refreshed. Oh, what am I doing? I didn't want to recover. I didn't want to nap. I wanted to go to the wait door. I await word. Utter focus. All that I am is here. Right, my minion has returned. The evidence has been destroyed. I am a little safer. Season of Ambition's coming up, so I don't think I have that much to worry about. We will add Sylvia. Okay, we did get a fascination off of painting. My recent work has attracted a couple of callers. With luck, something will sell. Let's go back to the inspector's position. The fleeting reminiscence is just shy of where it needs to be, but there's not a whole lot that I can do about that, so I'll find other ways of dealing with the fascination. Probably will just naturally get some dread. I think there are fewer opportunities for me to wind up well, actually no, I guess now that I'm going to the White Door, I do run into that a little more often. Something to consider. Call upon the watchman who navigates. The watchman will clear our sight so that we can almost certainly pass without error. So there is a little bit of a worry about adding moth followers this early, because if this fails and one of the moth followers gets wounded, that's a completely unnecessary wound. Actually, you know what? The restlessness would have made sense there, because that would have given me the dread, but that's fine. Also, I should get Leo cleaning up the Mystique. I'm gonna skip past the text for this time around because I really want to see what happens at the end of this this expedition. Because if Friday we can start making some progress on the tome side of things, that will help. Okay, safe across treacherous ground. We're mud spattered and thorn scratched, but we made it through. Let's see what Rhaenyra wants to do. Okay, bold scheme. And... what am I doing? Tentative evidence. Investigating a target, the more reason I use, my better chance of success. Okay, we'll add Yzabet. Again, so in terms of overall levels of risk, Yzabet is the one that should go and destroy the evidence, because in the end it's still just going to be a 5 Mon follower destroying evidence. It's not as good as a 10. Yzabet and Sylvia are eligible for expeditions because that's 10 Moth. That is the least likely chance of failure. And then Porter's sort of like, it's the difference between getting a 10 or not. And that's just because Porter does have 2 wounds. There are lots of principles, so if it's evenly distributed, it's actually very unlikely that he will die. But for everyone else, it's certain that they won't die. I'm going to grab the Furtive Truth here. Many of the dead enter the Mansus through the White Door. They wander its corridors in silence until they are lost. Some embrace each other, some devour each other, and some force their way into the dreams of the living. A few record their memories on the Mansus stone where it is soft. They scratch it with their nails, you see. Last night, I read one of those memories. So I don't normally go for the Furtive Truth, but it does help. Also, in this case, it does help us with the fascination. I'm not going to make it a habit. Like, if I do feel there's an opportunity, I will still take it at the White Door. But we could get a Furtive Truth, so why not, right? I can also just say scary things to Spencer Hobson, and that'll get me a dread. Speaking of. Okay, I should probably get ready for Reason. Well, no, actually, if she's finishing the expedition, it'll be 30 seconds. Look closer, closer still, closer. Keep looking, closer. Now close your eyes. Optimism is the spice which saves. Okay. Well, there's the dread I was looking for. It's just at the wrong time. So the constant clatter of closing doors, damp stains on the station walls, the smell of boot polish and unwashed constables. All this narrows to a single crystalline truth. I've made progress and earned myself some overtime pay. That's going to complicate things, because under the old system, like with bleak thoughts... No, actually, this still isn't that hard. What I want to do now is I want to generate a contentment... so I can get rid of bleak thoughts. Getting rid of bleak thoughts will get a fleeting reminiscence, which will get rid of the fascination. So originally I might have talked to Spencer Hobson about something mean, but now I'm gonna stick to my knitting. Let's go back to work. I'm not going to do a painting just because that's potentially going to generate a fascination. Good lord, what am I doing? Alright. World is dangerously bright. You can defeat visions with dread or a fleeting memory, otherwise you will lose yourself completely at Fascination 3. Dark days. I must be careful not to let doubts creep in. That's actually the worst one, because there's always a chance that dread could have been picked up by the fascination instead of despair. But there you have it. The Watcher's victory. They are more cunning and more numerous than we expected. This will end in blood for us. Okay, another attempt to take a location from us. So we are actually in real danger of losing this time around, but I have a few things I can do. Okay, so there's another dread. So now we're at... Okay, so in this case here, basically if I generate one bad response in anything, I'm toast. So I gotta be really, really careful now. So first things first, I'm going to do one passion, And for now, I'm going to make a painting of Clovette, but we'll see where else we can go. This could not have been at a worse time, but... Some dead are lost in the woods, some rise higher, but many, so many, pass the white door into the house and become silent forever. Last night they thronged the entrance. Our mouths were healed wounds, their eyes roamed my skin, their hands sought my warmth. But my touch burned, and they drew back. Their urgency infected me. Okay, so we're going to get rid of Clovette for this painting, and we'll use the Restlessness instead. I don't want to stop going to the Mantis, but I do need to think about what is the most useful for me. So, for instance, if I get... So, like, the worst thing that could happen to me is I go to the white door, and I get the option that has the winter influence, and the winter influence will eventually decay into dread. So at that point, I have one escape, which is to use that influence in bringing in one of the hangers-on. But yeah, if I get the fascination, I'm toast. There is one other option for contentment. I'm not going to take that quite yet, though. So in this case, I'm going to leave the dream slot empty, because I want to see what happens contentment-wise with painting. Okay, sickness, so let's go out for a walk. With luck, I'll wake... Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Fresh air and exercise. Long walks kill cobwebs. Okay, this I got lucky on. So, paintings whispers, windows wink. I know that these things are not true, but how can I be certain? So the dread that we got from our job actually got picked up by the fascination. So all of a sudden, we are a lot safer than we used to be. In fact, if I get contentment from this, we've completely unraveled our emotional state. This is work I can be proud of. With enough publicity, it will sell. No! We actually got overexposure? That can't be right. My recent work has attracted a couple of callers. With luck, I will sell something. But we did not get contentment out of that. So it's been interesting. Every time that I've paid for the paints, it hasn't really paid for itself. But I'm fine with that because again, we're working with more than enough money. Late delivery, a barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. So shadows are shelter from light, despair is ballast, even misery has its uses. Paintings whispers, windows wink. I know these things are not true, but how can I be certain? I've neglected my studies, but I stand a little straighter. Okay, we'll leave the study verb for now. I probably should chat with Leo, and should have done that earlier. Once I got that mystique, but that's fine. Actually, we'll also potentially get the... What?! Cleansing dawn, now I can slough off my flesh patch by patch, tugging the tendons free like fibers picked from teeth. My skin lies like a shredded blanket. The sun heaves itself above the horizon with a triumphant battle yell. The light falls like acid on my naked bones. Pain wakes me, and my bones will throb for days. So, sometimes this will provide contentment. Often it will do nothing. Occasionally it will create... That's weird. I didn't think I would actually dream when I was recovering, so anyways, that's spectacularly bad luck, but it's not game over. We're just back to where we were before. Okay, so I know that the deck has reset. And this is because there's vital pigment here. Yeah, okay. So, I have a few different options in terms of how I'm going to approach this. I think I have a pretty clear idea about what I want out of this. But that is going to be something that I resolve. This is actually kind of a risky move that I'm going to wind up making. But I'm comfortable enough with my understanding of how this works that it's a risk I'm willing to take, let's say. So, yeah, I will, I'll leave it here. Oh, sorry, I should read the text. So the watchers here were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This was not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. But yeah, like I said, I need to mess around a little bit with how the draws from the decks work, I think. And hopefully I've not messed around too much with how this works. But I don't know. I feel reasonably good about where where this is all going to wind up going. I am, however, going to wind up reading a lot of books. So we will leave that for tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.